With Doctor Who in limbo and all but put on hold, it's led to the regular negativity surrounding the show. But my question is, what does Doctor Who mean to you? Perhaps you have a personal relationship to Doctor Who, perhaps it's a lot more casual. Either way, we all have a very different way that we view this historical show. For those who regularly comment, a show that should have ended in 2017 or 1989, they view the show as theirs, with their correct views of what is right, what is wrong, and what needs to happen to the show. I'm not here to say whether they're right or wrong, I just don't really understand how someone can view RTD2 or Chibnall's era as if they've been personally offended or that their favourite show has somehow been degraded. If you don't like it, cool. But how does it help complaining about it? If I'm not mistaken, television is an ever-changing creative landscape, and that's exactly what it is, a world of creativity. The show is a representation of the current world, politically, emotionally, and so on, but also a representation of the people who work behind the scenes, the writers, the directors, the actors, the gaffers, the sound designers, the runners. I put to you my view, that Doctor Who is about change. Not change for the better or the worse, just change. Like many people my age, I fell in love with David Tennant's Doctor, and I knew around that time already that Doctor Who was much more about an alien going around the universe fighting monsters, or even that the show had any kind of set continuity. I would rewatch series 1 to 4 religiously when I was younger, and even within those first 4 series, there is so much that fundamentally changes, whether that was main characters, companions, doctors, themes, that I just knew that this show was fundamentally about change. It's overused, but the 11th Doctor's speech before his regeneration encapsulates this idea completely. In fact, most Doctors convey this message before they regenerate. The 12th Doctor gives in to change, the 4th Doctor accepts his end, the 13th Doctor invites the next Doctor into their adventure. The 8th Doctor forces himself to change, to become a warrior in the Time War, so it's impossible to say that this show isn't to some extent about change. Even growing up, my favourite Doctor has changed. As a kid it was David Tennant, as a teenager it was Matt Smith, and now I can firmly say it's Peter Capaldi. But with that being said, I've never truly disliked a Doctor. Every single Doctor, despite changing, has strengths and weaknesses that owe themselves to this show that is every so often able to mix things up. So even if I enjoy different eras for their different strengths, those who don't quite relate to or simply enjoy an era can surely find solace in the idea that it will change. In fact, when I was younger, I probably enjoyed classic Who a lot more than I do now, and most of that is just to do with the practicality of not having the time. Even I'm aware of some of the faults that plague Ncuti's tenure, but I still, having said that, in season 2, found the childhood joy that I hadn't had for so many years. I genuinely felt that in the first half of season 2, there was moments that just made me smile like I did when I was watching Matt Smith show up on the screen for the first time. I felt that in season 2, and even though the season as a whole may not be my favourite, I still found strengths of that season that made me enjoy the show. Imagine if Doctor Who kept its heavy historical educational form. It would have been cancelled after season 3 or 4. And there's no way you could have gone from season 1 to season 26 or series 1 to series 13 without some incremental differences along the way. Doctor Who is certainly about much more than just change, grief, morality, family, just to name a few. But change at its core allows this show to explore an endless amount of themes. So yeah, I am sad to see Doctor Who struggling to find itself like in the 90s, but history tends to repeat itself, and I can confidently see a future with more solid Doctor Who TV. Like the 90s will have so much to fill the gap, like comics, Big Finish, books, and even the war between land and sea. I invite a new direction for my favourite show, and I will never wish for it to end or change at my pace. The world will change, new people will become involved in Doctor Who, and if you allow yourself, you will always find an area of this ever-expanding universe that you will enjoy. Let me know if you agree with me, and if not, let me know how you view Doctor Who. Do you see it as a simple sci-fi family show? Do you have a personal connection to it? Has it helped you in any way? I'd love to see your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.